record so I don't forget. It's always the way when you're running sessions where you're like, oh, did I hit record? I hope I did. Amazing. So excited to have you here today. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, feeling that. All good, Sharon. No stress. There is absolutely replay, but all good. You won't, there's elements of what you may need from yesterday, but hopefully you'll have clarity around that, but that's okay. There's always the replay. And excited for the weekend. Love it. Hopefully we have some good weather this weekend. We can head to the beach. Well, I'm excited to dive into day three. So, day three is about bringing everything together. So, everything we've covered off together so far in the last couple of days, it's bringing it together so you've got an actionable plan to start putting into practice. So, we're going to be covering off creating a strategic, scalable plan for hitting six figures. So, you've got no more guesswork and know exactly where to focus your time on a daily basis. Because when it comes down to really hitting six figures, you've got to be motivated to take the action week in, week out. Otherwise, we don't create consistent sales. We're going to be talking about those daily, weekly, and monthly habits, and we're going to talk about the things that have to happen in your business in order for you to be able to create those consistent leads coming into your business as well without feeling too overwhelmed. I'm going to talk about the prize winners, and also we have a special guest today. So I'm going to be bringing on beautiful Lita from Hey Branding. We're going to have a good chat, so it'll hopefully benefit you as well. And before I do that, though, I'd love to hear a takeaway or two from the last couple of days. So whether you hear yesterday or not, but even from Monday, I'd love to hear one takeaway so far. What's been dropping in for you? So even like digesting everything over the last couple of days, I'm sure there's something that's just dropped in to be like, oh, this was actually been my biggest takeaway, or this is something that's really resonated with me. I'd love to hear. If you feel comfortable putting your mic on, you can just share, or if you prefer to pop it in the chat, please pop it in the chat. I'd love to hear some takeaways because I know we've covered quite a lot. So if you remember back to day one, we talked about your sales process. We talked about the common mistakes that a lot of business owners make. Day two, we dived into money mindset and the thresholds and the blocks that prevent us from hitting six figures and the mindsets we need to adopt in order to thrive. And we also talked about your offers. So getting really clear whether it's possible for you to hit six figures. So we need to get clarity around that before we dive into today's piece. So what was one of your takeaways? Love for you to share. Is everyone like fried for a Friday and like, I'm not sure? Marketing isn't selling. Yes, Amanda. Oh my gosh, so much. And I hope that I'm so glad that I mean, you know this because we've worked together, but like it's one of those things that I think sometimes we can think we're doing all the things, but we are actually doing a whole bunch of marketing and we're getting eyes, but we're just not actually converting them with sales strategies. So I love that you've taken that away. Anyone else? Is it feeling a little bit more? I know Giselle was sharing. Oh, is she on today? I don't think she's on yet. Giselle was very much sharing, like, oh, it's actually, I can see the possibility and I can actually see it's possible for me. And now I've just got to believe it. Love it. Alex is selling a result and outcome versus the services. 100%. Oh my God. If that's one of the biggest things that you put into practice, that will start to shift your business in a massive way because often we're selling the inclusions and we're not actually selling the specific result and outcome, which is what people want. It's what makes people buy. So if we can shift that, that's awesome. So that's so good. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Awesome. All right. So prizes for some of you who maybe didn't hear me talk about the prizes. Oh, Vanessa, awesome. Calculating your value for your offer and marketing to their problem, not just saving them time. Yes, love that so much. It's one of those things that if we can get so in our own heads about the value, but when we are communicating, we're not communicating based on the client's value perspective and their needs. And we shift that, the client's like, oh, I see the value in investing in this. I want to work with you 100%. So yeah, I love that you took that away. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to announce the first two winners from day one and day two. And so there's still an option to win the third prize. So we'll do that after today. So we'll give you the rest of the day and I'll jump into the Facebook group tomorrow and announce the winner from day three. So the three prizes as a reminder, and the first person will choose the first one, whichever one they like, and then the second person will choose whichever one they like, and then the third one that's left over will go to the third person. And so the three prizes were, the first one is the one-to-one coaching session, valued at $650. The second prize is access to my mini course, which is a sales and money mini course to help you generate income into your business fast, and it's valued at $799. And the third one is a copy of two of my favorite business books, one being Erica Kramer's new Becoming Magnetic. I keep plugging her book. It is great, FYI. I've read it already. It's so good. But yes, so they're the three prizes. So the winner from day one is Vanessa. Thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations. I'd love you to have a think about what you would like your prize to be, and let me know if you can pop it in the chat so that I know who wins the second one will then can choose. And then the prize for day 2 is Sharon. So thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing. I wasn't specific to who shared on what day. It was more like I'm just taking the biggest takeaways. So I know that Sharon's here. Did she stay on? Yes, she's here. She's just got a video off. So yeah, Vanessa, pop in the chat which prize you would like, and then Sharon, pop in the chat after Vanessa because Vanessa gets to choose first. And so everyone's got one more chance to win the third prize. I'd love it if you could basically, oh, you're on the phone. Oh, good. Yeah, the last person will win the third prize. Amazing. All right, let's dive in. So just to get a bit of a temperature for how you're currently feeling with your strategy, I'd love for you to tell me in the chat, how do you feel currently about your long-term strategy in business? Are you A, I know where I want to go, but I don't know how to get there? Are you B, I've got a plan, but not confident it will get me where I want to go? Or C, I have a strategy and I'm executing it on a daily. I'm sweet. So Amanda said I'm in between B and C. Awesome. Alex said A and B. Love it. Just moving from B to C. Okay, cool. Amazing. And then a little bit of A and B for Vanessa. Okay, awesome. Amazing. And Vanessa's chosen the one-to-one with me as her prize. So Sharon, you have the choice of either the business books or the mini course. So let me know which one you'd prefer. And I'll be in touch after the call to organize all your prizes. Amazing. All right. So let's dive into sales strategy. So what is the actual plan? Do you have a plan? And what's the strategy in order for you to execute on that strategy? So first things first, yesterday we touched on knowing how many of your one-to-one offers or your high ticket offers you would need to sell in order to hit 6 figures. Those numbers matter, right? If we identify, because even when we were chatting with Vanessa about it, we identified that maybe there might be an opportunity to increase prices because maybe there is impossible to actually hit 6 figures. And so we need to be clear on that so we can either work on increasing your prices or create a new high ticket offer so you can actually hit 6 figures. And recognizing that like all the chatter that happens around that, we always have like that internal chatter of like, oh, is that possible? Can I do that? But if I raise my prices, will people pay it? Like all of that. But the value piece from yesterday really plays into that. If we're able to communicate our value effectively, it changes the way that we're able to charge. And then obviously you have to deliver a great service. I have to say that, right? If you're not delivering a great service, if you're not creating a result for someone, if someone's not loving working with you, then we've got to start there. Like that's got to be the first thing because we've got to make sure that that's really, and that's always a work in progress. Like, don't get me wrong, it's always a work in progress, but it's something that we need to make sure that is great because if we pile in a whole bunch of new leads and convert all those leads, but they're still unhappy, it's not going to create great like raving fans or referrals. And so we need to make sure that you're starting at the service. So now that we know how many offers we need to sell, how are we going to go about selling them? So today we're going to explore your long-term sales strategy and having a bit of a plan in place so you know exactly what to do. Implementing sales systems. So I'm going to talk a little bit, not too much in depth on sales systems because it's a whole, so like when I teach this, I spend a whole month on sales strategy because it is actually quite an in-depth element to your business. And it's not cookie cutter either, right? So it's hard for me on a group call like this to be like, you got to do this and you got to do this because I don't know your business well enough just yet, right? So I'm not a cookie cutter coach. I'm very much like I need to explore your business and your ideal client and what they need and what's going to work for you and what's actually your strength when it comes to the way that you sell. And so we want to do that in an authentic way and one that really works for you. So we want to build out a sales system that actually works for you and that's going to be different to what works for me. So allowing yourself just to explore that. And then third, we're going to touch a little bit more in depth into the consistent sales activities because one of the biggest things that I see is that we often have a plan, but we're not executing on it, or we just don't actually know what the daily, weekly, monthly tasks need to be sales-wise in order for us to see consistency in our business. Okay, so we're going to talk a lot about that today as well. So most people, and this is like I always say most because it's not always all, most people aren't earning the money they'd like to be making because they have no sales strategy in place. They might have a marketing plan, and I see this quite often. They have a marketing plan, a posting plan, and they're posting on socials, they're going to the networking events, they're doing all the things, but there's no follow-up process in place. There's no actual way to take those interested eyes to get them into consideration. And so there's no sales activities really in place to convert consistently. And so that makes you feel like business is hard and it makes you feel like, why are people not coming to me to work with me? And it's usually because you actually have to go to them first. right? You have to create opportunities for them to say, hey, I'm interested in what it is that you're talking about, and I would like to know more. We need to create those opportunities. Otherwise, it'll always be like crickets, just crickets happening within your business. So I'm sure you've seen elements of this if you've ever looked into your marketing plan or marketing in general. Marketing pretty much sits up here, right? It's about gaining awareness. So if we look at this is what we would call like a basic marketing funnel, right? Or basic sales funnel. So usually new people who are no idea who you are, maybe they find you on social media, they meet you at a networking event, have never heard of you before, they come in through the top of the funnel as cold. So they are just aware, they're becoming aware of who you are and what you do and who you help, right? If you've even had that conversation and if your Instagram has been clear on that, right? So they come in and they're aware of it. Then you might say something or share something or have a conversation about something that you do that creates a level of interest. This piques someone's interest for them to be like, oh, that's kind of like me. And I'm experiencing that problem. And I really want that desire. There's something about that. And I like this person. Maybe they could help me, but they're not in the consideration phase. So marketing really much sits in the awareness interest phase, but sales strategies sit in the consideration and the conversion phase. So we need to guide those eyes that are interested into the next phase of consideration, should get them to the point where they're like, this actually is something that I'm looking for. And this is the person that I really want to work with. And now I'm starting to consider the offer, right? So remember how we talked about the sales process on day one, and we talked about how like a sales process is only salesy if you miss the first 5 steps. So if we haven't created connection, if we haven't discovered what the problem is they're experiencing and described that problem really well in depth, if we haven't actually overcome some of their objections, they're not really at that phase of consideration yet. They're just kind of like scrolling social media or living their lives in the problem, in the, still experiencing the problem symptoms. But unless they've become aware that, hey, you can help them, and this is how I help them, and this is the result and the outcome I can create for you, we haven't really created a lot of deeper interest that will support them into consideration. So we really want to think about like, what's our lead generation strategy and how are we taking those attracted leads, so those eyes, right, the cold eyes from awareness down into interest, consideration, and then conversion. So in the convert phase, this is where we're actually having sales conversations where they're literally saying, I want to know more about your offer and I'm ready to consider this purchase, right? So we want to make sure that we're guiding them through these phases. And if we don't have anything in place at this bottom part of the funnel, then we're literally losing out on so much money. We're leaving so much money on the table. So to begin with, we want to think about your high ticket offer and go, well, what's my way of getting in front of more people that have this problem? And as I mentioned, like all of this is not about convincing. This is not about like manipulating. This is about being available, being an option for people who have the problem, that are interested in solving the problem, that you become an option for them to choose, right? We just want to be an option for them to choose. And then if we then get to the conversion phase and we share our offer and they're like, yes, tick, 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 that's me. Yes, yes, I want that. Yes, yes, yes. Then it's an easy yes, right? But if we haven't nurtured them to that point, that's usually where we get people on either in our DMs or liking our stuff, but never really going anywhere else with it. They're kind of like, oh yeah, this is me, kind of me, but nothing really is making me bite the next piece or step into the next phase. So we really want to think about what's our lead generation strategy? And lead gen has changed a lot over the last few years. Like we really have to create something that people really desire. It can't be just something that is random that they can already Google for free everywhere else. We want to make sure that it's something that's unique to your service and something that they go, oh, I really want that. How are we nurturing those leads? And more importantly, how are we converting those leads into paying clients? So we need to have a plan in place. So we're going to start with these 4 pieces. And so I want you to start to map this out. And we're going to spend a bit of time on this. So I want you to think about currently in the awareness phase, how are you creating visibility? Who do you need to, your ideal client, hopefully. How are you going to get in front of them? What is your plan to get in front of more of them? So posting on social media is great, but sometimes if we don't have a real plan in place to get into more eyes, we're literally just posting and we're posting to the same people. So you really want to think about, how am I getting on the explore page? How am I actually getting into non-followers' faces? How am I meeting new people? How am I becoming an option, right? So we really want to think about different visibility strategies to get in front of more people. Then we want to think about, what's our lead generation? So once we have all those eyes, how are we going to generate them as a lead into my business? Because you don't own your social media platforms. If it's one of the things that you use as part of your strategy, we don't own that. And it's also not showing interest yet. So remember how I said, like, for someone to go into the interest phase, they're basically raising their hand and being like, hey, I have this problem. I'd like more information. And the way that this happens in the online world is they download a lead magnet, right? As simple as that. They're basically saying, I have this problem and I want this solution. And so we want to create something that makes people do that. Now, there's so many different forms of lead gen. I'm not going to go into the depth of that today because we could spend a whole, and actually have like a whole masterclass on how to do this, because like we want to create something that people really want to download, but we also want to nurture that. Right. So what is your lead gen strategy? And what I mean by things have changed is that it has to be really valuable. We can't just give people the why and the what anymore. If you've heard that term in the old marketing ways, like give people the why and the what and not the, and then you sell them the how. People are like fucking done with that. They're like, no, give me the how. But we just want to actually bring it down to like one specific thing, a real tangible thing that they can have a win from you, that they can actually have some type of shift or change or some type of solution. So then they're like, that was really valuable. I wonder what else she's got. I wonder what else I can work with her on, right? So we've got to step things up when it comes to lead gen. And then we have to have a plan in place in order to take those interested leads into then the next phase, which is a sales system. So a sales system is guiding them into consideration. So how are we doing that? I'm going to give you an idea of like what that's going to look like. But a sales system is basically saying, like, let's get a group of people who are interested together and share with them the reason why they may need our solution and give them an option to buy, right? So we're not actually just throwing stuff out on social media, like, buy my shit, right? We're actually just selling to interested people. Does that make sense? So I really want you to think about this, because there's so many different ways that we can do this. And I've done this with so many different clients in different unique ways. And it's figuring out your unique way of doing this. And then the last piece is, oh, my text is cut off. The conversion piece is like, how do we get them to choose you, right? How do we actually allow them to take that piece to the next piece and actually have the sales conversation? So then we're overcoming their objections. We're listening to their problem. We're describing the problem better than they can. And then we're meeting their needs with our offer. Yeah. We don't want to do that on social media just to the masses, because then people are kind of like, oh, I'm being sold to, because they're not interested yet, right? So having a plan like this, a strategy in place, allows you to take a little bit more control with your business and leave less of your income up to chance. And we're building out a plan to actually have conversations with interested people. Make sense? Awesome. So let me give you an example. So let's say your plan is to convert more clients, right? This could be simple, and I'm obviously keeping this really general because everyone has a different business. So obviously when I work with clients, we go a little bit more specific. So then we're actually uncovering it specific to your ideal client and what works for you. So awareness, visibility could be getting onto podcasts, doing more collaborations. It could be IG lives, it could be speaking gigs, it could be YouTube takeovers, it could be story takeovers, like really think about different types of collaborations. IG lives and reels go further, like they go to more non-followers. And like obviously posting on social media will create more awareness, right? So this is just a basic way of thinking about your visibility. But I really want you to think like it's about getting into front of more eyes, because if we're just selling, now sometimes I have a bunch of clients that will come into my programs and they've already done so much marketing and they've actually got quite a few leads. Because I mean, I hit six figures when I only had just under 2,000 followers, right? So because I was nurturing them for so long. And so we want to recognize that it's not about like building massive followings. You don't necessarily have to do that to hit good money, make good money, but we need to have a plan in place to nurture them. So sorry, I got off track. So awareness, visibility, how are we getting in front of more audiences and more eyes? And then what are we asking them to do next? Are we guiding them, or are we just hoping, wishing, and praying? So when I say hoping, wishing, and praying, it's adding a lead magnet to your website and never promoting it, not actually adding it to your links in social media. When a conversation goes in the direction where you can help them with a lead magnet, you don't mention it, right? So let's say you're at a networking event and you're chatting, and then you're in your head, you're like, oh, I could really help them, but you don't share it or you don't follow up with them, right? That's where we're missing opportunities. So interest is then having a lead magnet in place and an email sequence that will nurture them into consideration. Okay. Most people that have come into my program don't even have those two things in place, or they haven't updated it since last year or the year before, right? Whereas I'm feeling with lead gen now, you have to be creating more lead gen opportunities. So this, rather than just one lead magnet and you use it for the whole year, you've got to be doing it more regularly. And so AI is really helping with this. It doesn't always have to be like this big thing. And if you're thinking about a lead magnet being this massive undertaking, it's probably because you're trying to solve too big of a problem, and you've got to come down to a more specific problem that's easy for you then to create. Okay. So you want to, and you can use AI for brainstorming and uncovering lead magnets for your ideal clients in such a unique way that is so much faster. Then we want to have a sales system. So we're going to guide them from the lead magnet into a sales system. So that could be a workshop, it could be a demonstration, it could be a sales call. Now, this is so different. So I've even had like a client of mine who's an interior designer. And so for her, she was actually chatting and building a collaboration with a design house. And she offered a workshop for them and was like, hey, is there any chance that, I could come in and run a little mini workshop for your people? And it worked so well that she was able to convert like 6 clients off the back of just one little mini workshop. And so that was so great for the design house because they were like, this is amazing. I can't believe that worked so well. And so now she's doing it every quarter, right? So that she's got control of what happens next and she's actually speaking to interested people. So there's lots of different types of sales systems, but it's figuring out what feels really good for you. So putting in a sales system, so you are basically saying, hey, you were interested in this lead magnet. Would you like to come along to this workshop or this class or this demonstration or, something that actually guides them to then learn a little bit more about you and getting to know more about the problem and the solution that you offer. And then conversion from there could be a sales call process or just a follow-up strategy. So if they've already been part of something like this, it might just be a follow-up, or some people need a little bit more conversation, need to overcome some hesitations, and that's okay. So then we invite them into a call to have a conversation. But without a sales call process, this can be really hard. So if you've like I said on day one, if you've never learnt sales, if you feel like you suck at sales, if you feel like it's super awkward and uncomfortable and you feel like you're being salesy, then it's most likely that you haven't got a sales call process in place. And I do this with scripts, and actually we build it out for you. So then that way you are feeling comfortable with it. But you need to understand the process, and then you're understanding how you're guiding a client through that decision-making process. Does that make sense? Is this like blowing your minds, or you're kind of like, fuck, this is a lot, or you're like, well, where are you at? Give me an idea. You're like, no, this is good. I can see where I've kind of been missing some gaps. Let me know. Awesome. Yeah, need to redefine more systems. Awesome. Love it. Cool. Love sales scripts. Yeah, me too. It's easy. Awesome. Amazing. Okay. Glad this is resonating. Amazing. All right. So now let's just touch on your sales activities, and I'm going to invite our beautiful special guest to come and chat. So when it comes to this plan, we then need to take this plan and go, well, what am I doing this week? What am I doing next week? What's my plan? What are my leads? Where are they? Where are the interested conversations happening? And so we want to make sure that we're then taking all of this, because that can sometimes feel really up, like high level. We want to take that and actually turn it into specific things that you're doing weekly, monthly, to create more sales conversions. So how are you currently spending your time? Now, some clients that I work with spend their time on busy stuff in their business or client stuff. So they're working with clients, which is amazing. It's obviously how you make money, but they're not spending time on sales generating and money generating activities. And so they miss out on the conversions because they're not doing it consistently. And then when they get to the point where they need to bring new clients in, they freak out and they're like, what do we do? And then they try to go have sales conversations with people that aren't really ready yet. And so we want to be conscious of that. And we want to think about like, hey, what's my plan? And so to give you an idea of this, one of my beautiful clients, Lee from Lethal & Co., she is a graphic designer and she helps with branding, and she's beautiful. And we started working together in November. And this happened actually in January. So she came back from the break in January and was like, okay, I need to bring new clients in the door. It's looking a bit thin. And so we looked at, I was like, where are you spending your time? Like, we need to look at exactly the sales strategies you're putting in place. And she was like, I'm really working on my lead magnet and I'm going to redo my branding on my website. And I was like, no, you need to stop doing all that behind the scenes stuff that no one is seeing yet. Right? I'm like, what sales activities are you doing? We built out her sales strategies, and she put in those sales strategies. I followed up with her and we supported her in my community. And I was like, every single day, tell me what you're doing. And so she jumped in and was like, I'm following up with this person and I'm having conversations with this person. I booked 6 discovery calls, and I was like, holy shit. And this is because she actually had a really great following, right? But she wasn't doing any of the sales activities in order to take them from consideration into conversion. And so it was like literally 10 days. It was so fast. It was so fun. She was able to put all of that in place, follow up with a whole bunch of people, follow up with some discovery calls, brand new year energy, and she was able to convert $10,000 worth of work over a weekend. So she had a whole bunch of conversations in week 1 and in week 2. And then over the weekend, this message she sent me was on a Monday, and she's like, you won't believe what's just happened. She's like, I've literally converted $10,000 worth of work. So I'm absolutely excited, but also so relieved. And so was literally because of the activities she was doing. And I actually had to say to her, she said to me, oh, I'm going to go work on this lead magnet. And we talked about her lead magnet idea that we were working on. And I said to her, you cannot do that lead magnet activity until you've done these, because she's super confident with graphic design and branding. So creating a lead magnet is fun, right? So she's like, oh, I just want to go over here and play on this fun stuff. And I'm like, yes, but it's not going to generate leads. It's not going to convert people. So it's okay to do that, but do this stuff first. And this is where you've got to prioritize the activities that you're doing week to week, month to month, and work through the mindset blocks that are preventing you from showing up and doing that consistently, because that's where the money gets made. It's the consistent relationship building, right? It's the consistent posting. It's the way that you're showing up and sharing your lead magnet. And if you're not doing that, then it's not normal for you then to not have people responding going, I really want to work with you, right? It's not, the sales conversations aren't happening. So I want you to think about what your sales activities are going to be daily, weekly, monthly, based on your sales strategy. Now, you may not know these exactly right now, but I want you to do this after the session and sit down and be like, okay, but what am I actually doing? How am I creating more sales conversations? How am I nurturing people to the next phase of consideration? So at the end of the day, if I can simplify it one step further for you, sales starts with a conversation, okay? So if we can think about how we're creating more conversations, you're more likely to have more conversions. So there's so many different ways that you can create conversations. Simple things like this: welcome your new followers. Follow up with a question, get to know them. Reach out to email subscribers personally. People that have downloaded your lead magnet, send them a message. If you can find them online, send them a message or invite them to have a conversation with you, right? It could be follow me on social media. So then when they follow, you're going to welcome them and you're going to have a conversation, right? Follow up past leads who haven't converted. This is where a lot of money gets left on the table. That maybe even past clients that you've worked with or past leads that haven't converted, that maybe you had a conversation with 6 months ago. And this has happened to me in the past too, where I've had a conversation that I was like interested in and I needed just a bit of time to think about, but then they never followed up. So I was like, well, I'll go work with someone that's actually going to take the time to follow up. All right. So really thinking about these activities, nurturing your referrals. So if you have any referral systems set up, nurturing those relationships, looking at where your past leads came from. This is a really big one for a lot of people. They might have leads coming to you in unique places, but you could double down in those areas and improve your sales strategy there. So you could be sharing an offer there or adding value there so that you're being seen. Create a short email sequence with a simple offer that follows a sales process to create more conversations and drive a purpose. Because again, if we're just sending just random emails left, right, and center, and they're great newsletters, they might be really value packed, but they're not necessarily a sales email, right? So they're not guiding someone to the next step. Last one there is invite leads to something valuable that you can show the value of working with you. Little invitation. Remember, invitational sales. So it could be something, it could be that you create I think we talked about this the other day, like create an Instagram live on a question that you've been asked recently from a past client or from an existing client or from a DM conversation from a cold client. Create a video about that and share it with people, right? Give people an option to see the value of what it is that you do. So, and that could be an article. It doesn't have to be a video, like just whatever feels right for you. But value, remember, value is the thing that converts people. So if people aren't getting the value from you, they're not having solutions made for them, they're usually just going to find someone else that does, right? Or they're going based on a recommendation or referral. Make sense? So this is a small little list that you can start implementing into your day. But I want you to think about, like, if you go back to your main strategy, you should be able to build out like exactly what am I doing with each element of this and building that into making sure that you're dedicating time with that within your week to make sure that you're taking those steps. Cool? Awesome. So once you have this in place, imagine what would be possible. Like doing this on a consistent basis. A consistent piece is really important. It's where I see a lot of clients where they, put it in practice and it starts working and then they get busy and then like forget to do the stuff. And I'm like, you've got to build CEO time into your business. It has to be a regular thing. And so even dedicating a day or a time throughout the week where you're dedicating CEO time to work on the business is really key. And also the beauty of this is you're actually selling to interested people, which makes the sales process feel better. And it also means that you can guide the right clients to work with you. Right, so you get to work with clients that you really love working with. Yeah. Awesome. So now I want to bring my beautiful, beautiful friend Alita up onto the call. And hopefully, oh, where is she? There she is. So I'm just going to stop sharing so I can bring Alita on. Yeah, so Sharon said, spent too much time on client work and not enough on lead gen. Now it's creating sales activities first. I love that, Sharon. And CEO time is now a priority where I was lacking. So yeah, awesome. It's got to be a priority, 100%. So Lita, hi. Thank you so much for joining
Hi,
us today.
thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited to chat with you. So I asked Lita to come on and share a little bit about her journey of working with me and what it means to actually work on your sales. So actually understanding your sales strategy and putting something into place and the impact that that can have on your business. So before we dive into that though, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, who you help?
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Lita. I'm from Hey Lita Branding. I am a marketing and branding mentor for women in businesses. I specifically work for women who are wanting to overcome that overwhelming feeling and the confusion when it comes to their brand and with marketing. Because I've been a brand designer for as long as I can remember. And I just found that the thing that was coming unstuck was that people would be presented with this beautiful brand, but they just wouldn't know where to go from there. So I have a framework that I work with my beautiful clients with to help them sort of clarify their message, build a brand that aligns with both them and their clients, and then actually give them an easy, actionable marketing plan to then take their business to market. Yeah.
Amazing. What's your favorite thing about working with your clients? Oh, you're frozen. Are you there?
I just,
Hello.
it sounds super cheesy and corny, but I genuinely just love seeing them have that like aha moment and that whole like, because people are so scared of marketing and people are so scared of putting themselves out there. So I really love it when they kind of just have that. I kind of refer to myself as like the genie in the marketing world. I sprinkle that little bit of magic up to like for them, and then they just get that feeling of kind of like, oh my God, it all just clicks. Like I love that feeling because a lot of my clients come and they kind of go, oh, I'm so overwhelmed and I'm like burnt out. And then just seeing them sort of have that weight lifted off their shoulder and get excited again is my favorite part of what I
I
do.
love that. That's so good. I love that. Awesome. So, Lita came and joined me within Unstoppable Sales, my sales program, late last year. Was it late last year, middle of last year?
Mid last year.
Middle of last year. And so I'd love for you to share with everyone what was happening in your business before you joined.
Nothing was happening. No, I was pretty much exactly the person that you were just explaining. I was exactly that. So like being a designer myself, I was super excited about like, doing all the fun things, the social media posting, all those sorts of things. Tell me to make a lead magnet. Sure, I'll make 3 of them. Like I love doing that sort of thing, but I was never actually being consistent and I was never actually doing like working on my business. You know what I mean? Like, so and don't get me wrong, I was doing fine, but that was the problem. I was happy with just doing fine. Like I would be getting people, like getting clients through word of mouth, and I was like, it was drip feeding, but that was the problem. I was just getting enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, there wasn't really anything happening in my business. It was just ticking.
So I haven't prepped like Alita what to say. Like literally I'm hearing this for the first time too. So that's so funny. I'm like, you're like nothing. So then what made you or what drew you to join Unstoppable Sales?
Well, I knew somebody who you'd worked with before, and I saw I saw her transformation, and I'd been seeing you on socials showing up all the time. And I think I was just at the point where I was like, I'm so sick of just sort of hoping that my next client is coming. I felt like I was a duck on water, like my little legs would be like below the water and I was just staying afloat. So I was like, it shouldn't be like this. Like it shouldn't be this hard. And it was so funny because the day before I joined the challenge that you put on, I said to one of my friends, I'm looking for a coach. And I just know that when I meet them, they'll be the one. And you just popped up and I was like, it's it. I have to do it. Like it was almost like it was a sign from the universe that I had to do your Unstoppable Sales course. So, and it was amazing. So I don't regret it.
Neither do I. Thanks, universe. Um, so what was it? What did you love about Unstoppable Sales? What was your fave part?
I have 2 favorite parts. The first one being the accountability and the fact that I could submit things for review. I just loved, I need somebody to sort of hold my hand and guide me a little bit. And I have all these ideas up in my head. So it was really nice to be able to sort of like work through everything that you were getting us to do, but then also have the ability to submit it for review and actually have that back and forth with you to make sure that I was on the right train, or like on the right path, I guess. And then obviously the beautiful community of women. I think there was about 12 or 15 of us that went through that program at the time, and we still keep in contact now, and we still try and like continue on with our Mondays and Fridays and the accountability and celebrations. So yeah,
Oh, awesome.
and obviously you like that goes without saying.
Thank you. Was there anything in particular that you got out of Unstoppable Sales that actually surprised you?
The mindset shift. And I remember we were joking about this on the closing ceremony of when we finished up Unstoppable Sales. And I remember when I first started with you, I was like, my goal is just to be making like $5,000 a month. That's it. You know, I'm a mom. I only work on my business twice a day, like twice a week. I don't want to, I'm happy just being mediocre. I just want to make ends meet. By the time I finished at Unstoppable Sales, I was like, that's it. I'm getting a Tesla. I'm on 130K a year. We're not like, why am I stuck in, like, why was I thinking so little? So, and I genuinely didn't think that it was within me to want more.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, super
It still
interesting.
seems weird, like saying that
Yeah.
out loud, because I'm like legit. I had a conversation with my partner this morning, being like, come on, I need to make sure that I'm hitting these goals. Like, yeah. So it's just, you lit this fire in me.
Oh, I'm so happy. That makes me so happy to hear. And I think one of the biggest things that with your transformation that I really resonated with was that it was one of the first couple of calls you came in and you were like, we were talking about pricing and you were like, I just want to be affordable. And I was like, that's great, but why? And so there was some money mindset stuff that we definitely needed to work on in order to shift that to actually come to like being valuable pricing. So it's like it's okay for it to be an equal value exchange so you can get paid well and give amazing value to people and there's people out there willing to pay it. So have you noticed that's continued to shift for you in the way that you think about that your pricing?
Yeah, and look, don't get me wrong, it's so hard pricing yourself as well when you're doing your own business. But I'm like now I'll like toy around with ideas and I like run through the whole because Christine has like a part in her workshop that is like pricing yourself and stuff. So I like continuously go back to that and make sure that the price that I'm like pricing myself is valuable, not affordable, but valuable. And then like I run it via that sort of formula that you've got there because obviously it's a scary thing attaching a monetary value to your services, especially because I don't have a tangible product that I give people. Like I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. So, but no, I definitely, I've learned a lot and I've shifted a lot. And the one word that kept on coming up when we were talking about all of this was that I'm not worthy and I don't deserve this. And that just doesn't come up anymore. Like I kind of, if I have those doubts, I sit there and I'm like, shut up. Well, you deserve this more than anyone else. Like just go for it. Like, so I think that was probably one of the biggest transformations, like apart from the direction that my business took and like the inflow of sales and all those sorts of things. I think with me and myself, it was that whole I guess self-worth and the like I've ditched the I'm not worthy. Like I know I'm worthy now. Like you're lucky to work with me, guys.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much because that's like when I think about like, yes, I teach you the strategy and yes, we to learn the sales skills. But at the end of the day, for me, it's the self-belief. Like I just love like turning that around within someone and a woman that like is great at what they do and they love helping people. It's like your worth is so important and that backs up everything else, right?
Yeah.
You've got to have that self-belief. So I just love that that's been your transformation.
And you'd be so proud. This week alone, I've turned down two people who I just don't align with me. I like was like, you know what? What would Christine say? Don't work with them. They're not worth your time. So I was like, I mean, that's not the message that you're giving to people, but
Yeah.
I was like, I need to like value my time more. And I don't want to just accept jobs because I need to pay the bills. Like I know I trust in my own ability and I trust in what I deliver now that I can say no to those people that I don't want to work with because I know for a fact that what I do, I will get the clients that I want to work with. So yeah.
And that's everything. That's why I call it unstoppable because I want you to be able to get to that place where you're so confident in your ability to sell, so confident in your ability to know where your next client's going to come from, and you're backing yourself in the mindset. Like that's everything.
Because
Amazing.
Lita, like what 6 months ago would have been like, oh, I've got to go work with that tradie, even though I don't want to, but it's the money and I need to do it. And now I'm like, no, go somewhere else. Here's my friends that you can work with. You're not for me. I know that my dream clients are coming my way. So yeah.
Oh, oh my God, so good. So last question, what would you say to someone who would be considering joining the next round?
I mean, is it no surprise that I just say just do it? um, I mean, take the leap. If you're on the fence, I can guarantee you that you're going to get way more out of it than what you even think is possible. Like, I went into Unstoppable Sales sort of thinking that you would help me with my sales scripts and that you'd help me sort of like, I guess, get a clearer direction on where I wanted my business to go. I did not think that I would come out of it with this, like, it sounds stupid, with this unstoppable like attitude and with this new, like, I guess there's no other way to put it, like a new passion. Like, I was just stuck. I was kind of like happy being mediocre, but now because of going through Unstoppable Sales and having Christine to lean on and the other amazing women in the group, I now genuinely feel unstoppable, and I can't wait to keep on going. Like, it's, yeah. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's going to light a fire in your belly and just make you super passionate and excited again.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, lovely. It's been such a joy to hear your transformation and the breakthroughs that you've had. And I just love your energy. It's so amazing. So make sure you drop your handle, your Instagram handle in the chat, because I'd love everyone to give you a follow.
Oh,
And
thanks.
yeah, if you need your branding, you need support with your marketing, go check out Leader.
And if you want to have a chat about anything that Christine runs through, and if like genuinely just off camera with Christine, not listening in, because I'm not that I'm going to say anything different, but I'm more than happy to have a chat with any of you and just sort of tell you exactly what I got out of it. So more than happy to have a chat.
Oh, I appreciate that so much, love. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Amazing. All right. So I'm just going to bring my slides back. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you need to jump off, feel free. But yeah, make sure you chop your handle in the chat. Amazing. All right, I'm just going to grab my slides again. Hopefully they're coming up for you now. So I want you to have a think about everything that we've covered off so far in the last 3 days. I know there's like lots to learn and there's lots that we've covered off, but I want you to think about what it would mean to you to have the accountability to implement it and to create those consistent sales, just like Leader has, and build into your business, your sales strategy and the sales skills so you can feel unstoppable within your business, so you can achieve your goals. When you think about really why you started your business and what you wanted to create, what would that mean for you if you're able to actually hit those goals and feel good about your business and feel unstoppable? So you showed up with this challenge, I'm imagining, because you really want to level up your sales skills so you no longer have to feel salesy or pushy. And you know that sales is key if you want to continue to grow your business to new income levels. You're eager to learn and expand your knowledge so you can become the go-to person in your industry, but you don't want to do it in a way that's salesy or pushy or even out of integrity. Not here for that. I know that you want to work smarter rather than harder, and you're sick of the average income that's only just paying the bills. If you're ready to finally hit six figures and feel like your business is legitimate, then I want you to have a think about what's next. So far I've shown you that sales is an essential part of your business success, and understanding the sales process can be a difference between being salesy and pushy to converting with confidence. But improving your sales skills in today's economy is paramount, so you can support your customers to make an informed, enjoyable decision. But adopting the right mindset can impact how you show up and sell with confidence, and learning how to follow a sales process and embrace those objections is essential. And having a high ticket offer that delivers on your promises is what will set you apart from everybody else when you learn how to communicate the value. And having a sales strategy is key if you really want to hit those six figures or 10K, 20K months. So imagine what it would feel like to finally hit six figures, knowing where your next client is going to come from and not having to stress about it. And imagine feeling so confident in your sales process, just like Lita just said, like she feels unstoppable in her business now, to never fear that clients are going to say no, or to be able to do what she just did and like literally go, no, I'm not going to work with you because I know how to find clients. Imagine never feeling locked in to say yes to those clients. Imagine having a long list of leads and a sales system to convert them so you can have a cash injection into your business whenever you need it. And imagine having a business that gives you the time and freedom to work on creative projects and money to invest in things that light you up. From here, you have a couple of different options. So one might be that you already feel clear on the gaps that you need to focus on within your business in order for you to make those leaps and bounds. And you are starting to feel a little bit more confident with your selling, which is awesome. Or option two, you might be thinking, what's next? But how do I build out my sales strategy that's really unique and personalized to me? And how do I sell consistently and authentically? So here's why I don't recommend continuing on without working on your sales skills. One, it's much harder. Two, there's every chance you'll feel rejected regularly. Three, there's a 100% chance you'll want to give up on your business. And I hate seeing women give up on their businesses, that you'll leave so much money on the table and you'll constantly feel like you're in scarcity. I would love to take this opportunity to introduce you to my beautiful sales program, Unstoppable Sales. It is all about to master the art of authentic high ticket selling and confidently win clients on repeat, minus the salesy, sleazy, icky sales strategies. This is a 16-week high-touch program to master the art of authentic high-ticket selling, to confidently win clients on repeat, minus the salesy strategies that attract aligned high-ticket clients that with rock-solid money mindset and sales strategies. Thanks, Lita. You're so sweet. Oh my God. I'm going to pop the link to the sign-up page in the chat so then you can find it super easily. And at this point, the sales is in such an integral part of your business that we cannot ignore it anymore, that we've got to get really good at it. And having an authentic way to do this is really key. So having the right mindset to support it and the money mindset to support it and understanding the human behavior behind sales really makes a big difference. And having a long-term sales strategy in that we break it down into those weekly, daily tasks that actually create the sustainability and profitability in your business is everything. So I want to get clear on everything that you get within Unstoppable Sales. One, these are the core areas we're focusing on. One, crafting your high ticket offer, either redefining the one that you have or creating a new one from scratch. So then it's a no-brainer for your dream clients to buy. We build out your framework and get clear on your pricing and your lead generation to attract dream clients and learn how to communicate your value effectively. We develop a long-term sales strategy that's personalized to your business using sales psychology to understand customer buying strategies. And we build out your money generating activities so you know where to spend your time for best results. We then dive into high ticket selling. So then we're actually learning the sales process using my confident closing method. So you're consistently and confidently converting clients on repeat. We explore sales psychology with this so you can understand the decision-making process that a client goes through in order to then make sure that we're giving them the right information so it's an easy and enjoyable yes for them. We also create a sales script so that it's not just you trying to figure it all out and play around with it. We create a sales script and we also do sales call practices within the program as well. So then you can practice with someone else that is not a potential client and actually is a safe space for you to be able to practice and make mistakes so you can get really good at it. And phase 4, we dive into money mindset for high ticket sales to teach you how to rewire your brain to be consistently sold out, to adopt an abundant mindset so you're no longer stuck in scarcity and you can feel abundant in the ability to attract the right clients. And we clear all the money blocks. This is where I do that deep in NLP work to clear any money blocks. But then we also work on the money management piece. So exploring your cash flow, your profitability, and creating positive money habits so you can scale your business for sustainability and growth. So you get access to all of our done-for-you templates and scripts. I'm also building AI into the next round so that it actually supports you in executing on what we're learning and teaching faster. And so templates for lead magnets, sales pages, pitching, email sequences, converting high-ticket one-to-one clients on calls and DMs. All of that you get within the program. Plus, you have access to my mindset subconscious rewiring audios for money mindset and sales confidence. My clients love these because it's rewiring their neural pathways while they sleep. So Unstoppable Sales is all about the skills that you'll learn inside this program will set you up for continued success throughout your business. And just like Lita says, she goes back to it on a regular basis. So no matter where or how you sell, these are the skills that will upgrade you and your business forever because it's human sales psychology, right? That's not going to ever change. And you can just develop the strategy depending on what changes within the market. So here's why the program works. Following my confident closing method, we rewire your mindset and we give you the support and accountability to take action. Plus, there's one-to-one coaching sessions and personalized access to me within the Slack community.
My business is so much more long-term now. I'm not living in the moment. I'm not searching Seek anymore see what other jobs there. Because I know I love what I do and that I'm making an impact with my clients and that, the right clients will come through the door. So that's the huge change for me long-term is that I have a long-term vision. I'm not living in the moment anymore. I'm planning for what's happening next year and all of those kind of things. There's now a waiting period if you want to work with me, which was a huge change for me because I always felt like I needed to serve people right now. And I found that it's okay. They wait.
Love it. So Amy actually,
my business is so much more long-term now.
Amy actually came to when I first met her, she said, I hate sales. And I was like, game on. I can make you love sales. And we worked on, it was a lot of money mindset work we had to do in the beginning because she was really stuck in scarcity and stressed about money all the time. Once we shifted that, it made such a big difference in her mindset and the way that she valued her service. Now she works with only high ticket clients. She's actually launched a brand new group program for HR and she has scaled way more than what she's at right now. So she has gone so far since the program and she's now actually in my higher level mastermind as well. So here's how the program works. We touch on method, your mindset, and momentum. So this is why the sweet spot fits in here. You've got to have the method and the strategies. You've got to have the mindset, and momentum is everything. So with everything that I've done within my programs, I really want to make sure that it creates an actionable, practical strategy that you can put into your business. And then I give you the accountability and support that you can actually implement it. So there's one-to-one coaching and personalized sales strategies, sales program and templates, group mastermind, and live Q&A. So this is what you can expect. We get together twice a month. The first call is small pods where you get one-to-one conversation with me to see where you're at, what you're working on, what you need help with. The second call is an open Q&A for everyone. So where you can bring anything to that and ask any questions at all. Then we have a bonus training once a month as well, dependent on what the topic is that we're focusing on or what I feel like the group really, really needs, which is always updating as we go. You get access to templates and done for you scripts, 2 private one coaching sessions throughout our time together, and powerful money mindset and energetic practices to help shift the mindset blocks that are preventing you from scaling, and daily access to me in Slack, which is where I hold my community. So you can jump in, you can voice note, you can just leave a message and get the support that you need in order to keep moving. Plus also similar to what Alita was saying, is that there's a channel there where you can submit for review. So anything that you're working on, you want feedback on, like a sales page or email sequence or, your offer, anything that you're working on, you can submit there. And then I go through and give you feedback on it. So like everyone loves that because it helps actually keep the momentum flowing, but also know that you're actually putting it into practice properly, because otherwise it feels like you're just trying to figure it all out on your own. I don't want that. I want you to be able to feel like you can ask me anything and get the support that you need. So here's some of the feedback that I've gotten from the program in the past. Everything from hitting 10K months to celebrating, obviously converting clients, increased discovery calls, January being their biggest month ever, Marilena having smashed out her home consultations, and she actually hit 2 10K months in a row. And yeah, I just love celebrating these wins. But like I said with Lita, my biggest, what I take away from this is the self-belief, to see them walk away from the program and being so strong in their offer and their value and feeling so confident within themselves is everything to me. So this is Samantha. I actually have a little video of her a little bit later on, but she was able to actually convert a 10K sale straight after when we started working on her discovery call and put in a discovery call process. And she was able to convert that client a 10K sale. She's never actually sold a 10K offer before. And she did it after actually learning the sales script piece, learning the techniques and focusing on it being a conversation. We worked on a little bit of her self-worth as well. And she has now restructured her packages, stopped trading time for money, and loves sales. So she was also another one that was like, oh, you don't like sales. So we're going to kick off on March 3rd with our welcome ceremony being the 11th of March. And there's some bonuses for you. So I've got 3 core bonuses for you if you sign up within the next 48 hours. So Sunday, 6 p.m. I've got bonus 1, which is access to my 30-day money mindset upgrade program, which is bite-sized audios in order for you to really work on your money mindset while you're working and walking and exercising and doing all those things. So you're subconsciously working on your money mindset. Number 2 is access to my sales and money mini 7-day course. This actually was created off the back of a client of mine who had to take bereavement leave off her business. She had a death in the family, and she came back to her business 4 weeks later and was at the point where she was freaking out. She's like, I really need to bring clients into the door like ASAP. And I was like, great, go do this, 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 and this. And she followed it to a T and was able to bring in $6,000 in sales within 1 week. So after that, I was like, oh, you should put that together because that's awesome. And so I put it together in a mini course, and that's what you get access to as a bonus immediately upon sign up. Bonus 3 is a one-to-one extra coaching session with me. So a 60-minute coaching session with me, which can be focused either on strategy, mindset, anything that you need in order to keep moving forward, valued at over $650. This bonus 3 is not going to be available to anyone else. This is just available to you for showing up or watching the replay for this six-figure leap challenge. This is not available to anybody else. So you will see on the sign-up page, there is a section there where it says, this is a fast action bonus. So once that expires, this one goes away. Okay.
Christine has even made me love sales. I closed a $10,000 sale on my first discovery call with a potential new client within the first week or 2. Now, that would not have happened before working with Christine.
I was actually looking at it the other day about the cost of the course versus what I've made in money in the time. And I have made that increased my income at least 2 or 3-fold from what the course cost me. So
from the get-go, as soon as we did the sales conversation part, I had started to change my conversations that I was having with people and managed to convert into my introductory package 100%. And that's continued for the past 3 months.
I really sat down and thought, like, what are the areas that I need some support in? And it was the sales part that was my, like, the attraction piece. I think I found her talking about sales. I think I need that support. And then I did the challenge with you. And I think even in that challenge, there was a few things that you said to me. I was like, if I can do this change, a little change, and convert a client within a 3-day challenge, I need to be in the mastermind.
So the total value of Unstoppable Sales is just under $30,000, but the actual price that you'll pay to develop your create consistent high ticket sales and feel confident in your sales strategy and in yourself is either, there's 3 different payment plans. You can either do 6 monthly payments of $520, you could do 4 monthly payments of $775, or you can do a pay in full option, which is $2,999. There is US pricing as well on the sign up page if you are based in the US. So feel free to click through there. The link that's in the chat, you can see the difference in pricing. Obviously, I've converted it to US dollars as well. So this is for you if you are either of the following, which I know most of you are: a service-based business owner who is great at what they do and is ready to charge what they're worth and convert consistently; someone who values authenticity, who's ready to earn money that you deserve without sacrificing your integrity; and if you're already serving clients and want to increase your conversions and take your business to the next level. This is not for you if you want get-rich-quick schemes or tacky sales tactics that never work, are not willing or ready to put the work in. If you're just starting out, you're right at the beginning and you've not actually worked with any clients at all, this is not the program for you. If you're a product-based business, this is more focused for service-based, and if you want to stay exactly where you are. So, and then there's also a money back guarantee. So if you get into the program and within 14 days after doing the work that I set out for you, if you feel like it's not the right fit for you, I will refund your money. So I'm going to open up the floor to questions. So anything that we've covered off for the last 3 days, I'm going to open the floor to any questions you have around Unstoppable Sales. You can ask. The link is in the chat if you want to find out more details. The fast action bonus will end on Sunday at 6 p.m. And we get started on March 3rd. So I'm going to open the floor. Does anyone have any questions at all? It can be obviously anything we've covered or about Unstoppable Sales. Any questions? You can either pop your mic on or if you want to pop it in the chat. So I will be announcing, so I saw Sharon, you said the books was your price. So I'll reach out to you for your address and get that organized for you. My DMs are also open. So if you prefer to ask a question privately, you're more welcome to send me a DM. And I will announce the 3rd winner. So feel free to share your takeaway on your stories or in a post or whatever feels right for you. Tag me in it on social media and I'll announce the 3rd winner on tomorrow in the Facebook group. So the prize for the 3rd one will be the 7-day mini course, valued at $799. So feel free to share again, and I will make sure that I jump in and announce the winner tomorrow and be in contact with you as well. There will be an email that will go out with some details, which will have the link to the page as well. So if you haven't grabbed it here, you can find it in the email that will come out after today's session. But I honestly really appreciate you spending the last 3 days with me. It's such a joy to get to know you and your business. And I hope that you've taken away some really great nuggets to start implementing into your business. And please, after today, do the work, sit down and actually go through your strategy and be like, okay, what am I selling? What am I going to do? And what's my plan to actually convert those leads from awareness down to convert? And if you have any other questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. But I really appreciate you coming and spend this time with me. Is there any questions? Anyone wants to ask anything? It could be anything. Please, if there's anything that you covered off with your strategy today that you're like, I feel like I need clarity around that for me, this is the time to do that. I'm happy to stick around for 10 minutes or so to answer any questions you have. You're so welcome, Alex. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks, Sharon. Any questions? See you later. Thanks, Amanda. Awesome. I'll send out the replay as well, so you can always watch back. But I look forward to chatting with you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and happy weekend.